permanent stuff.
Space Marine 2. What we have here is a game that takes place in the 41st millennium, and this is commonly referred to as the grim dark future, where there is no hope. This is because of all the bugs and chaos that keep invading planets and being general asshats. But if you think about it, this isn't the worst option I see. I mean, you can die for a living, get eviscerated by hostile alien bugs, or perpetually tormented by space demons. But at least you'll be gainfully employed. Though for how long, nobody really knows. Good luck. The game's story is rather basic. It takes place several centuries after the happenings of the first game. And even though it's only been a little over a decade since the previous entry, it sure feels like several centuries have passed. You take control of Titus, the ultra blue guy from the first one. As far as the story goes, you are hopping from point to point trying to stop the Mechanicus from being the Mechanicus. Which is kind of a shame because out of all the factions in this game, I like the Mechanicus the most. And if I say Mechanicus one more time, I get a free army, so Mechanicus. Come on, Games Workshop, hook a brother up. The Robo Boys are constantly looking for knowledge and a way to improve the tech so they can bring an end to the chaos and those pesky little bugs that keep destroying worlds.
Goddamn bugs whacked his job.
If it seems like my knowledge on the Warhammer lore is rather light, that's because it is. I don't have time to look at 40,000 2 to 4 hour video essays over the lore of Warhammer, but you better believe I have 8 hours to play through this campaign. Speaking of which, in the last game, Titus was accused of being corrupted by chaos, or tainted, in the taint, which means that he spent the past 200 years in the Death Watch. You gotta love a faction named the Death Watch, right? So in the opening of this game you are falling from the sky, trying to deliver a bio-bomb that will put an end to the wasp problem that currently is going down on the planet. The EDF could have had this wrapped up in like 5 minutes. After the big bio-bomb goes off, he is reinstated into the Ultra Blue Marines.
My pledge is eternal service.
Which is far less cool than the Death Watch. Once you're back in the Colonial Marines, Space Marines, it's time for a bug hunt.
Is this gonna be a stand-up fight, sir, or another bug hunt?
That goes on for a while, and then you encounter some chaos. And then some random chaos dude cowabunging around, on a surfboard? Huh. Well, whatever the hell this is the main baddie for the game that shows up about halfway through it. You kill him, and then it's over. Oh, but the asshat that accused you in the first game is apparently now the space chaplain. He's still an asshole. And the game ends on a cliffhanger, but hopefully we won't have to wait another 13 years before we get a sequel. Because we'll probably never get it. That is about all I really have to say about the story. If you are a die-hard Warhammer fan, all I can say is, get help. Someone is there for you, and loves you, and will hand you a can of deodorant. Yeah. Not for me though. Oh, and you will probably find many interesting little nods to the lore and the story, which will most likely make this game much more enjoyable to you. So, get out there and play it. If you haven't already, what's wrong with you, man? Is Games Workshop stealing all your money still? Yeah, they do that. 3D printer, man. 3D printer all the way. That and you don't have to smell the people at a Games Workshop. Ugh. Last time I was there, I'm pretty sure I caught some really rare disease from Africa that, well, you don't really want to know what it does, but it's pretty serious. It eats away at your brain. It makes you less funny. Okay, brother. Let's look at the world they have created for us.
We should be down there with the rest of the company. We will be soon enough.
The environments in the later missions are really, really nice. That is once you escape the forest of Krapdaku and get to the Hive world. Things are so detailed that you will get overwhelmed. The sheer scale of everything is also very, very nice. So nice, in fact, that it causes my poor 6700 XT to cry for mercy, along with the 5700X It is not meant to handle all of these Tyranids on screen, especially when you're recording via software. Thank you OBS for killing my frame rate. They might just be shitty little sprites and they aren't the most detailed, but come on, look at them all. There's just too damn many. And it's really wonderful to look at, as long as your PC has the grunt to deal with it. Right, I was talking about the world. This is a Warhammer game, so naturally, everything that can be a cathedral is a cathedral. The styling of the world is a masterclass in over-the-top bullshit. Why are there 1.5 billion stacks of crates just laying around? Why are you asking? This is a world that demands 1,000 psychers per day to keep a corpse alive. Logic is something that only the truly lost attempt to find in this world. Nothing makes any sense, and nothing will ever make any sense. Just sit back and enjoy the show, which sees you and your buddies getting bathed in copious amounts of blood of your enemies. It's pretty fun. Now, onto the gameplay. This is a third-person shooter with some action game elements. You will either be shooting at hordes of space bugs or cutting them with your chainsword, or that shitty little knife that nobody ever uses. If you have played the first game, it shouldn't come as a surprise that this is more of the same. Lots of enemies, lots of blood. It actually puts Gears of War to shame in terms of the sheer violence, which is very nice. They didn't manage to have the horror come across, which is kind of strange considering that the nids are very similar to aliens from Alien, or the Starship Trooper bugs from Klendathu, Kudaku? Klendathu, Kudaku? Wait a fucking minute.
Let me tell you something. I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all! Yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah! Oh yeah!
So outside of fighting the bugs, you encounter the Chaos Space Marines, or the Rubric Marines, which have a tendency to vanish right as you are killing them. I always thought they were supposed to still be in there, and were not just reanimated armor. You know, like the Hellbrute. That thing is fleshy as hell, or just fleshy. These Rubric Marines changed the general feel of the game to something more generic. However, they still have their little minions, which makes it much more enjoyable than, well, a Gears of War clone. And that is more or less how the single player goes down. I haven't played any of the multiplayer because, good lord, people on there have had like a year to get good, and I've had like 5 minutes. Yeah, I'll just stay away. However, there are co-op missions that run adjacent to the single player campaign, which further fleshes out the game. It's alright. I have only played through a few of them, and yeah, they're pretty good. You definitely want to have a buddy with you though. So, in summary, the game is pretty good. Kinda like the first one, but graphical improvements, which if there weren't any I would have questions. The hordes of space bugs is also very nice to look at and fight. If you are an enjoyer of Warhammer, and you haven't already played this game, I mean, go play it. What are you doing? But if you have made it this far, I can tell you what you should do. You should go down, leave a comment, maybe hit the like button, maybe subscribe. I mean, I'm not gonna force you to do it. Yet. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you. And would you believe it if I told you that I lost 2 hours of footage? This really does happen every video, and I don't know why. Join me in a few weeks for my newest blunder, I mean video. It takes place in Japan, and there's a lot of spider lilies for some reason. It's pretty cool. Until next time, have a better one, people.